25 years ago, I self-syndicated a comic strip in newspapers. Self-syndication means that I was pretty much calling all the papers and setting up the deals myself. And I did this because all the big syndicates had rejected me, turned me down, like King Features, Universal. And I thought, like, well, maybe if I can get into some papers and show them, maybe they would pick me up. So I did end up getting it in 52 newspapers all on my own. I did that basically I got a hold of a list somehow, and I don't remember where I got this list from, but it was the editors and like secondary market newspapers. And what I would do is I'd put together like a little sample packet of the strips, kind of like this one. I would mail it off with a letter to that address, and I would time my response, my follow-up phone call, for about a week after they received what I thought was the package. And I'd say probably like 1 out of every 3 was receptive, or at least they appreciated my hustle and spirit. I had zero idea what to charge. I had only heard like that papers would pay between like $4 to $7 per week, depending on like who you were or what the deal was. That was usually around like $5 a week for the feature to get 6 days a week. At some point when I was sending these out, I actually got a hold of what turned out to be a small syndicate. I didn't know that it was an actual little small syndicate. And they had heard my story when I did my follow-up phone call, and they're like, who are you? Wait, you have a list? So by that time, I was in probably 40 or 50 papers, and they were like, hey, we want to sign you up with our syndicate. But it turned out they only wanted my list so that they could sell their like puzzles and articles that they were selling. They were really like, just like, hey, give us your list, give us your list, give us your contact information. How are you doing this? And I did sign with them, and that was kind of a contentious thing where they wanted my list, and I was like, well, no, I built that list, and I don't really want to do that. You're supposed to get me in more of your papers. Anyways, that syndicate doesn't even exist anymore. It was so much work and definitely not a moneymaker, but it's a really cool memory and experience. Just the conversations that I had with the editors and just like learning about things. I was only like 24 years old back then. That makes me feel incredibly old right now, 25 years ago. Anyways, I still think newspaper comic strips are incredibly cool. You know, here I am, 25 years later, still drawing comics. It never leaves you.